But in every case, Stephanie, it's a fact and circumstances inquiry. I think every single case against Scott Pruitt has been a nagging political attack to slow down the agenda.
Okay,
but
then let's go broader than Scott Pruitt. We can go Jared Kushner. We can go President Trump.
Can you find me,
Richard?
Find me a hotel room for $50 a night in Washington, D.C. and tell me that's not a gift from a lobbyist. This is disgusting, and no decent ethics lawyer would sign off on that. If that had happened in the Bush administration, I would have shut it down in a minute. $50 a night to get a room in Washington, D.C. You know, we all know that that is a violation of the gift rules, and no ethics lawyer could cover that up. It's just flat out wrong, and you know it.
Well, I would say that, Mr. Painter, I don't know Mr. Manoli, and I don't know you, but I wouldn't slander a career professional who's been there for 18 years.
I will. No career professional would ever sign off on that. $50 a night in Washington, D.C.
He did.
Give me a break.
So you're manifestly wrong, but
Get
by
me
all
that
means,
room
180
$50
complaints
a night.
against the administration. By
I
all
did
means,
not file
carry on
180
slandering
complaints.
Okay,
Get
you know,
me
then I
a
ask
room
you,
for $50 a night in Washington.
Hugh Hewitt, when was the last time you stayed in Washington, D.C.?
A month ago in my own home, which, by the way, I have often given to friends, but Mr. Pruitt could not use it because of the gift rules. That's one of the funny things about this, Stephanie. When you've got friends in Washington, you come to town for 5 months and your wife is at home with the last 5 months of your son finishing high school, you can't stay at a friend's house because of the gift rules. Despite Mr. Painter's passion, which is misplaced.
Hugh, you can't stay at a lobbyist's house when you're the EPA chief and your work could directly impact theirs.
John Boehner stayed at a lobbyist's house, rented it from him for 10 years as majority leader of the House. It goes to whether or not it's a gift. And by the way, it's not owned by Stephen Hart, who's been a friend of mine, again, transparency for 25 years.
You don't think $50 a night is a gift? You don't think $50 a night is a gift? How much do you think hotel rooms cost in Washington?
All I'm telling you is it was reviewed by the career deputy senior associate general and the ethics official at the agency, for whom I have no knowledge but great deal of respect. Mr. Painter doesn't. He's entitled to pass judgment on whomever he wants, but there's a reason he's in Minnesota, not in Washington, D.C. And that reason goes back to whether or not you have due regard for other professionals' work. I do. I have heard only good things about Mr. Manoli.
I am fed up with people being attacked in Minnesota,
I'm sure you are.
in my state. We elect people in Washington, D.C. We are sick and tired of K Street lobbyists who look down at us in Minnesota and say, well, this is the reason you're in Minnesota, instead of raking in money in Washington, D.C. on K Street and leasing out a room for $50 a night to the EPA administrator. This is corruption. This is why the people of Minnesota and every other state here in flyover country, where you want to look down at us, we are going to vote these people out. It is disgusting what you just said about people in Minnesota, that somehow we are here because we don't play by your rules in Washington, D.C. We're going to shut it down. We're going to drain the swamp for sure. And this backfill they brought in from New York, we're going to send those people back to New York, New Jersey, wherever they came from, that Trump brought on down. This is really wrong, and you know it. And don't talk down to us in Minnesota.
Can we just end this segment dogging on New Jersey? Gentlemen, we're going to leave it there. Clearly, this conversation is to be continued. Respect. We always need to have that. And no going after Jersey. Richard Painter and Hugh Hewitt, thank you both so much. Be sure to watch Hugh.